All right, joining me now on Inside the Tournament, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, DRC. Welcome to the show.
Hey man, appreciate it. Pleasure to be on, man.
Absolutely. I want to start with this because DRC's been in TBT for a few years now. Last year, major upset, but I actually think you have improved every
Right,
year as a player. How do you
right.
think your game's improved since joining TBT?
Oh man, the first year, it's always the what can happen, what's gonna go wrong. You get a feel for it, and the more I get a feel for it, man, the more I understand the knowledge, the athletes, and just the athletic ability coming from players, how hard they going, what team's gonna go hard, what kind of player you looking for. The more and more I go into it, man, the more and more I can better myself, the team.
I love it because when you get into the game, you play like a corner. You play
Oh,
like a safety. I think you got in at the end of one of the games last year. You literally intercepted it at the end of the
yeah,
half. So
yes,
I
sir.
love watching you play. Your squad last year pulled off a major upset. That was a big moment for you and your dad, obviously. How great was that, first game of TBT 2024?
Oh man, it was awesome because going against the number one seed, you know that they're gonna be stacked, man. But one thing about the number one seed, they don't really see you coming. So you gotta kind of get a jump on them guys and just maintain it and put the pressure on them and understand that they got everything to lose and not us. So let's just play our game, man. So to go in there and get that upset was real big.
Yeah, it was exciting, and then you guys, of course, won another one. Big Paul
Right.
Harrison kind of took over. How
Oh
great
yeah.
of a player and teammate is Big Paul?
Oh man, I love him because man, he's a guy that's just gonna come in and just work. He ain't gonna complain too much. You know what I'm saying? We know we got to get him the ball, and even when he's not touching the ball, he's still trying to get guys. He's always on the sideline cheering people on. So man, I love his energy, man. I actually been scouting him for a long time because I play in a lot of tournaments just around the world, man, and it's a real big one down in South Florida. And man, them guys come down there and they be whooping butt, man. I was like, man, see, I need y'all kind of intensity and energy in the TBT, man. We're shock some people.
You ended up playing in the regional final against the host team, the Louisville alumni. What'd you think of that atmosphere? Obviously, you played in some big NFL games with crazy atmosphere, but what'd you think of the atmosphere down in the Ville?
Man, every time they played, man, it was electrifying, man. It was kind of like our Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I mean, the crowd was there, was cheering. I mean, you felt the energy. Anytime they scored or made a play, even made a steal, man, they got into it. So it was hard to battle in that, man, but it was fun, and we learned a lot from it. So next year we'll be ready.
I'm sure you're going to come back bigger, better, stronger per usual, but forget the basketball side of
Right.
things. If you had to go get some more former or current NFL guys for your team, who would be your first few calls?
Oh man, I played in a celebrity game with Devontae Adams, and man, he's just freaky, just athletic. And for a point guard, I go get Shady McCoy. You seen what he does with the football, man. He real shifty. He has the same thing in his handles, man. And I have to go get Anquan Bolden just because the attitude and the presence he's gonna bring. He's gonna get down there and bang with the big guys, man. So it's a couple guys I go get, man.
What about on the other side? Have there been any guys that you've ever played with where you've been like, "Hey, man, stick to football"?
Oh yeah, I hate to say it because he a good friend, man. But Ocho Cinco, man, you just gotta just stick to soccer and football, man. Every time he come on that court, man, and be passing the ball, I be like, oh no, man. I thought he was an athlete, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. He plays in our soccer tournament,
Yeah,
TST. He's
yeah,
great. He's
yeah,
great.
yeah. He can play that soccer and football. With basketball, I don't know.
So, what are you up to these days? I saw some clips on your Instagram. You're coaching. You're playing a little flag football. What's your day to day look like right
Yeah,
now?
that's just what it look like. I get up, I get me a little workout in, man. Now that our season's done, I'm coaching at a local high school where I'm from. The season's done, so now I'm about to get into the 7-on-7 circuit. That's real big. I get my guys that's at the high school. I start training them early, so we're gonna get ready for football now, so we can hit the ground running.
People come up to us all the time and say, "You got to start a flag football tournament, FFT or TFF, the
Yeah,
flag football tournament, TFFT."
yeah.
Would you play in that?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It's real big nowadays. I'm telling you, man. Flag football is way bigger than what you think it is, man. Like I love flag football. And it's so much. competition that's in it it's unheard of, man. Like it's certain guys they might not can't make it in the NFL, but I'm telling you, on that flag, they're animals.
Obviously, Michael Vick would be the best flag football player.
Right.
Who am I missing? Who would be like the guys out on the field for flag football? Is it just the same as tackle, or is there a little bit of
no? See the key ingredient that everybody missing is got to learn how to pulling flags is not as easy as going up and tackling somebody, because you got guys that can run full speed, and as you go to grab that flag, they just dip down to the ground and they low, and you miss the whole flag. So that part that people don't understand, that's the hardest part, is pulling that flag.
So who is it? Receivers or defensive backs that are better at pulling the flags?
Nobody. No, I'm telling you, if you see, you got to come to a flag tournament. It be the most unathletic looking guys out there. I'm talking about the biggest, widest. You can't pull their flag. You cannot pull it, because I remember, that's how I used to think. I joined the flag tournament back in 2008. I've been playing since 2008. So I joined the tournament, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna run by people and jump over people. No, sir. I was in for a rude awakening.
So back when you were playing in the NFL,
yeah,
obviously you have some TBT moments that stick out in your mind. Paul Harrison game winners, upsetting the 1 seed. But back in the NFL, when you think about like this was a crazy moment, what comes to mind for you?
Man, I can't even say. I would say just playing in the Super Bowl my first year. I remember walking out on the field and seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in my head, I'm thinking like, dude, these are the biggest guys I have ever seen in my life. And I was sitting here like, hey, we really about to go out here and play, because I hadn't been playing a lot of teams, but I don't know, for some reason they just looked like giants that night. And I was thinking to myself, like, I was in an odd moment, like, wow, really finna play against these dudes? And that always sticks out to me, always.
Who, now that you're kind of on the outside looking in, who are your favorite players to watch now?
I'm a fan of Patrick Surtain for the Denver Broncos. I mean, I just love his game, man, and his attitude. But from an offensive standpoint, I just love watching Tyreek Hill run around the field, man. Like, he's just gonna outrun you, and Tua can extend the play and just let him run around. So I'm definitely love watching the game. But every game I gotta watch the Eagles, because that's who my little brother played for. So I just love watching them. I gotta watch him and see how he's playing.
So a big thing in the basketball football world is football players like to say that it's easier for a football player to go play basketball. Basketball players like to say it's easier for a basketball player to go play football. We've seen you do it. You've done it. So obviously, what do you think?
Depending on the position. Because if you come in trying to play receiving corner, it is hard. But to go out there on a basketball field, I know my role. Don't look for me to score too much, but I can promise you I can hold my own defensively. I'm going to lock something up, and I'm going to play aggressively. But coming from over there, and it's a different kind of ball game.
All right, final question for you. This is the reverse.
Right.
You got to take some NBA players and put them on the football field. Who are you grabbing?
So I'm going to get my first player. I'm going to get Anthony Edwards. I'm going to get him. I just feel like him, John Morant, and Russell Westbrook, flat out athletes, can run and jump and time the ball, but they possess a different kind of attitude. Like those guys, they just want it, and that's how you got to be at football. That's something you got to love, and I feel like they got a lot of passion, so I'm going to get them. Big man wise, that's gonna be hard, because I don't know if I'm putting that tight end or offensive lineman. You gotta want to block. So, but I definitely gonna get Anthony Edwards and Russell Westbrook for sure.
What height is too tall to be an NFL player? Like, would Kevin Durant be a good NFL player, 6'11", running out there, or is that just too big?
Nah, that's too tall. Because I know him, he gonna want to try to play receiver. That's too tall at receiver. That's too tall. But if you go line up at defensive end, now that's different, because you want that height at defensive end.
All right, I like it. Okay. Final, actual last question. I lied. I thought of one more. You've met a million people in your life. Who's your most famous person in your phone?
Famous wise, I gotta say OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. As far as famous wise, he got the dang near 50 million followers on Instagram, and so I got to say him.
I know he's a big soccer guy. You and Odell should pull up to our soccer tournament this summer.
Hey, let me know, man. We'll pull up.
Yeah, if you want to get involved, we'll definitely make it happen. We need a team of more former football players. Last year, Ocho played, J.J. Watt, Pat
Oh
McAfee. There's a lot of NFL guys playing soccer.
Yes, sir. Definitely, man. Keep me posted on it.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. Looking forward to what BRC can do, coming off of a run to a regional final, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, my man.